Good morning, children. We are here to start with our classes. First, congratulations that you have reached class 8. And now, as per the course, for English 1, we'll start with the grammar classes. The first chapter is of determiners, and I am going to teach you determiners. So, the first chapter is determiners. As the name suggests, determiners are that or those words which actually determine or point out a noun. So as simple as this, as the name suggests, I can say point out or determine a noun in a sentence. Now, adjectives also do the same thing. They also somehow point about a noun. What is the major difference between an adjective and a determiner? The major difference between determiner and an adjective is that determines point out, while adjectives describe a noun. Determiners point out a noun, while adjectives describe a noun. Like, if I say about adjectives, because this is necessary that you understand the difference. So, if I say a difficult problem, here problem is a noun. What does difficult do? Difficult tells you about the problem. It describes the nature of the problem. So it is an adjective. While determiners point out or determine, as simple as this. We won't make it complex. Now comes, determiners are many. Some of them determiners are articles. These are types of determiners. These are types of determiners. The first one will be considered as articles are the first type of determiners. Then comes demonstratives. Then we talk about possessives, and then we will talk about distributives. Although there is no such major difference between determiners and adjectives, but yes, the question decides it, what you are going to answer. And now we'll come to quantifiers. These are types of determiners, as I say. First, in the topic of types of determiners, we will talk about articles. First, we will talk about articles. I think you have understood this. What are determiners? Determiners point out, while adjectives explain or tell the nature of a noun, while determiners tell you they determine or point out a noun. So we have much to study in the topic of determiners itself. I'll start with articles. Articles, as we all know, are three: a, an, and the. When it comes as a, an, and the, we divide it into two types. Okay, one is definite article and the other one is indefinite articles. A and am are considered as indefinite articles. Indefinite, as the name suggests, it is about not very sure. Indefinite, as the name suggests, it is about that we are not very sure. While the is considered to be a definite article. Why so? Because we use it when we are sure of something. When we are very sure of something or its importance, then we use the. Indefinite is when we are not very sure. not very, like we don't want to give much importance to the thing, then we talk about a and an. Now I'll come to something more. A and an, I have divided it this way. A and are indefinite articles. They are used with single countable nouns. Now, two natures of a and an. A and are indefinite articles. They are used with single countable nouns. As I said with the, it is a definite article, so we don't need to like ponder over it now. We'll think about this later on. Okay, I'll talk about a as an article. As I said, a is used with single countable noun. Then how are a and an different? They are different because a is used with, you can use it with consonant sounds, while an is used with vowels, with the succeeding words as vowels, which start with, initiate with vowels or vowel sounds. Please pay attention over this, that a is used with consonant sound, like a horse, a cave, a chair. I'll divide it here. Here comes an. As I said now, an is used with a vowel or a vowel sound. Right? It was a horse here, but it is an honorable man. Why? Because here when we pronounce honorable, H is silent. So it becomes honorable. So it is an honorable man. Now I'll come an, N-L-A. Why did I use an, N-L-A? Again, the same thing comes. This N has been pronounced as N. And that is why we use an. But I'll take a minister. Why did I use a minister? Because here M was the M is the same word. The same alphabet. But here it was pronounced as M, while here it was not pronounced as minister. It is starting with M. M as the sound. And that is why it becomes a minister. Although the better option with minister will be always to use the. Why? Because if you are talking about a specific minister, or when you are very sure about that minister, we prefer to talk about the. Now I will tell you something more about the. Then you will understand the basic difference between a and the. Hope you have understood the difference between using a and an. A horse, a cave, a chair, a table. You have so many examples. But please, we cannot use a student. Why? It can be used. A student's bag, in a sense. Student. When we use it with apostrophe S. When we use it with a possessive thing, then you can use it. But here, something, a horse, a cave, a chair. I would prefer the minister when we are very sure about that minister. Now, a minister is to arrive in the campus. Okay, I'll talk more about the. When I talk about they were single countable nouns. I'll write it again so that it is easy for you to revise it this way. Then I come the definite article. Here I write a school. For example, Here I'm changing it. The school in which I study. I have used a school because this is very general, in very general conversation about a school. A school needs to have chair and desks. As simple as this. But here I am saying the school in which I study. Why did I change the norms? I changed the norms because I am very sure about the school in which I study. Of course, I cannot study in many other schools or 5 to 6 schools. I study in one particular school. And that particular school needs to have the with it. Hope you have understood the difference between using a and the. Okay. So there are many norms or many rules where we use the. But please remember the basic rule behind it, that the is a definite article and we use it when you are very sure about a person or a thing. It is of course used with a noun. But yes, you have to be very sure. If you are using the, it makes the thing very important as such. The language which I speak is very renowned. The place where I live is very famous. Yes, we avoid the with generally the proper nouns. But yes, there are certain rules and regulations with the proper nouns as well. As I was telling you that the is a definite article, we use it with certain things and the name of the places or the things which we are very sure of. But there are certain rules of using the. Just say the is used with the names of the rivers, the is used with the names of the mountains, the Mount Everest, the Ganges. Okay, we use these things. But there are certain rules where we omit the. Okay, the is also used with superlative adjectives. The best school. It is not always about nouns. It is sometimes about adjectives also. The is always used before an superlative adjective. Like if I say there are two words in a sentence, best and school. Please remember this, that if this situation comes, articles will always be used before an adjective. So of course here I am talking about the best school. It is used before the superlative adjective. We use the with a noun that has already been mentioned. We use the when it is clear that the situation which people or things we mean. May I use the telephone? You are very specific about which kind of phone or which phone you are going to use, and that is why you have pointed it out. May I use the telephone? Then comes we use the with superlatives, as I told you now. The superlative adjective. Superlative is always an adjective. Please remember, superlatives are not nouns. We use the with such phrases as immediately, simple, single out, or specify a person or object. Single out means when we differentiate it from the other things. Okay, the student who is standing out, as I have differentiated it. We use the with such phrases as immediately single out or specify a person or object. We use the with a common noun when that noun represents the whole class. Like the donkey. Now, I am talking about one donkey, of course. But here, when I talk about the donkey, I mean the whole class of donkeys, or the whole species of donkeys is considered to be food. It can be considered it this way. Now, both the sentences are right. A donkey is considered as a food. The donkey is considered to be a, this one, animal of burden. Okay, beast of burden. The cow feeds on grass, all the groups. I'm talking about the whole species of cows. The whole group of it may be white cow, it may be black cow, I'm not talking about that. We are talking about the whole cows. We use the when there is only one of something, when there is something unique. As I said, the river Ganges, it is one of its unique, one of its own kind. Okay? Earth, moon, sun, the sky, the equator, north pole, east, west, the west direction, the east direction, we are using the with it because we are very sure of that. Only the sun rises in the east. Sun is one of its own kind. East direction is one of its own kind. That is why it's better that we discuss some of the things where the is, where we use the with the adjectives when those adjectives are used as nouns. Law should be fair to the lucky as well as the unlucky. Here, the lucky and the unlucky is basically an adjective. You are talking about a person who is lucky or unlucky, but you are using the with it. It is as same as when we use the best school. I was asked by a student whether to use the as the or the. Now there is the thing, the is generally used with superlatives. While using it with nouns, we generally use it as the. That is the basic rule for pronunciation. Then comes, note the use of the in following, the more the merrier. Petrol is sold by the liter. We say, go to the cinema, the theatre. Why? Because you are going to one theatre or one cinema. Of course, you cannot go to all the cinemas or the theatres in one go. You won't go there. So it is this way. And then comes, note the use of the use of the following sentences. In the following sentences, please note how are we using. On the one hand, on the other hand, to speak the truth. You are talking about specifically something, a feeling, the truth, or a virtue. That is why you have used the with it. When we talk about virtues, we use the. Articles with proper nouns. As a rule, a proper noun does not need an article. A proper noun means Shakespeare, Ajay, Atul. It does not need an article. Now we'll come to some rules where we are going to omit the articles. Where it is always not necessary to use the articles. Articles are omitted with proper nouns. However, proper noun is used like a common noun. It may be used as a, and, or the with it. Like there is a sentence. We need a Gandhi to solve the problems of our nation. I'll write down the sentence, hope it will be clearer in that sense. We need a Gandhi to solve the problems of our nation. Why did I write? Oh no, when I just a minute ago I said that we don't need an article with proper noun. Why am I writing a? Because we need a person like Gandhi. Here comes the point. We need a person like Gandhi. Here Gandhi does not need a name. Of course, Gandhi cannot be reincarnated just for this reason to cure the world. But yes, we need a Gandhi, a person who is of the virtues, who imbibes the Gandhi to solve the problems. Okay. Now we come, like you may have noticed outside the bungalows, etc., or outside big mansions, etc., they generally write the counts. What does it mean? The counts actually means here that the counts are living here. This mansion or this place belongs to the counts. But we have used the because they are talking specifically to them, for themselves, no other person. And the second thing, of course, they are giving importance to themselves. The itself adds importance to the noun or the adjective when it is used. We have to remember this. Then we come to the next point. We will be talking more about omission of articles because sometimes we use articles where it is not necessary also. I'll tell you some points. I'll explain the points here. I'll take the points from the book so that no point is left and there should be no confusion. I am taking the points from the book. We omit the articles when a noun is used in a general sense, like man is mortal. It has been used in a very general sense. It has been talking, it is a universal truth. So it has been omitted. The man, a man, an man, no, nothing is needed. Then comes with nouns that name materials. Materials like paper. She made a heavy investment in gold. In a gold you cannot write. Why? Because it is, first thing, it is not a single countable noun. Okay, and so you cannot use an article here. But when these nouns are particularized, we use the with them. The paper used in the book, like I told you, I gave you an example of the school. Okay, a school and the school in which I study. When I use the school, I have made it important myself. With plural nouns, when they denote a class, children have a fertile imagination. They can think about many things. You are not writing about a child. You are not writing about a single child. You are talking about in general, children nearby. Okay? They may be any children. Animals can also be friendly. You are not going to write an animal, the animals. You don't need to. This is a very universal truth that animals can be friendly. Children have a fertile imagination. This is a very universal truth. So you don't need any articles to be added with it. Then comes the point with the names of the meals. Breakfast, a breakfast, we are not going because again it is not a single countable noun. Please remember this. We are coming to the basic rules. As I told you in the beginning, we are coming to the basic rules. Only we are giving the examples. I am giving you the examples from the books. Breakfast, lunch and dinner are not single countable nouns. So we don't need it. So we don't need an article. Okay? Then comes with the names of diseases. Malaria is no longer a killer disease. You don't need to write the malaria, a malaria, and malaria. Again, if you consider it, this is a truth. Universally considered to be a truth. That is why we don't need any article with that. Quite a few children suffer from the mumps. Do we need it? The mumps? Basically, no. We don't need mumps. It is a simple disease. We will say mumps. With languages and branches of knowledge. English means the English language. The English means the English people. Now please take notice of this. When we use English without an article, we are talking about a language. When we are talking about the English are more sophisticated with their language. Now please pay attention. In the first sentence I said English is a language. I don't need any article for that. But in the next sentence I said the English people are considered to be more sophisticated. I am talking in the whole world. I am specifying a group of the English people who are very sophisticated. That is why when we use Though with English, remember the sentence should be rightly placed after this. Then comes with the names of days, months and seasons. Sunday is a holiday. You don't need any articles with this. Spring is a season of great rejoicing. It's a season. You don't need it. Every spring comes with great rejoicing. So, with noun phrases to go to bed, it has been written here. If you just read it once, you will be able to understand me better. If you read the books, your page number till page number 5, you will understand where the articles have been used and where the articles have been omitted. With words like father, mother, uncle, because in the given situation, they are just like a proper noun. When I say, my father is a gentleman, I don't need an article. I'm talking about my father. Rather, I'm using a possessive here. My father. I am not using an article. I'll be using possessive. Of course, I am using a determiner, but I am using a possessive. My father is a gentleman. Mother has not been well since yesterday. Now, if you are using it, use it with a possessive. My mother cooks very well. You are talking specifically about yourself, so you will use a possessive, not an article. Then comes in the headlines, notices, emails, messages, etc. We generally omit the articles. That means we leave away the articles. We don't need to use the articles related to this. Now comes the point where it is written the repetition of articles. Yes, now I come to the topic, the repetition of articles. There are some sentences where we use the articles again and again. It may be any articles, a, an or the. It can be any articles can be repeated. Like I am quoting a sentence from your book. I can see a white and a black cow grazing in the field. So you can easily understand that I am talking about two cows. One is a white cow and the other one is a black cow. Now, remember this, the first principle I told you, that sentence is always, and is always used with single countable nouns. Hope you remember this, single countable nouns. So, single countable, white cow, and the other single countable is a black cow. I can see a white and black cow. If I use a white and a black, that means I have seen two cows. But when I am saying it to you that I saw a white and black cow, I am not using the sorry. When I am not using that means I have seen just one cow and that was black and white. It was striped or maybe any spots on this. Okay, the direction and the the director and the producer of the movie were not present. Why have I used the? Because I am talking about a specific person. Every other person cannot be a director of the movie. Every other person cannot be a producer of the movie. It has to be one specific person. So in the sentence, now pay attention to the whole formation of the sentence, you will understand this. The director and the producer of the movie were not present. That means there were two persons. Now if I change the, just see. If I remove the article, it changes the whole structure of the sentence. The director and producer of the movie were not present. That means director and producer were the same person. When I was using the two times, means I was talking about two different people. Here I am using only once. The director and producer were not present on the set. That means it was only one person who was directing, also directing the movie, as well as he was producing the movie too. So now with the next class, these are the rules for using articles. However, I would end here. You are requested to do as many exercises for articles as much as you can. It may be from the book, it may be from the other reference books, and it will always help you in the for the practice. And in the next class, I'll come to demonstrators, the next type of determiners. Yes, you have three exercises in your book for class 8th. You are requested to, of course, do these 3 exercises plus as many exercises as much as you can practice. It will always be helpful. Thank you so much.